Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I'm going to come at this read twofold, and I'm going to tell you why. Welcome to my world. When I was throwing these cards, I just felt a deep sadness, just a deep sadness. Basically like someone had passed away, literally passed away. So I want to say this. If someone did just pass away, or someone in your life passed away, and you're really just having a hard time right now, it's just a time to take a step back. Your guides want you to know that, sometimes we just need to really just remove ourselves from, daily lives, what's going on. The cards, too, also speak of a real need here to, I don't think you're getting much support in this. If you've got a family unit or something like that, I don't think they're being very, I think they're not feeling this loss as much as you are. Another thing, too, why I know I'm point on about this and why I'm really going to the physical death part of this is because, or it can apply to really just missing someone too, okay? I told you before, when something is about to happen or something does happen, my guides always send me white feathers. It's just been like that since the day I can't remember it not ever being like that. And what it always means is, something's going to happen, something sad happens, something is about to come about, and they just send that to me to just, for whatever reason, to know that it will be okay. In the end, it will be okay. And I saw that, and I had just vacuumed, so I know that it didn't just appear from somewhere. And I know just from how long I've done this and just how my life is, that it's either a message for me or it's a message for someone else. And given that when I threw these cards, I really had that deep feeling of loss, we're going to go that route. Because when I went to pick it back up, and I walked in here to put the cards down, it was gone. So, that is a message for someone that regardless of what you're going through right now, it will be okay in the end. There's also a message here. I threw, because I know there's another way this reading is going to go too, and I'm going to touch upon that in a minute, but I needed to get that out because someone really is, I feel their sadness, so I needed to touch upon that first. So, the fortune card that we pulled too is the Mystic Circle, and that card really speaks of, it represents spiritual beliefs, okay? It's the ability now to really just listen to your intuition, listen to your guides. Messages are going to come for you, okay? So really just, I think they'll come, I really do feel through your dreams with that particular situation there. I think what you're going to get, or you'll start seeing things too, okay? Don't second guess them. You're being asked to really just go with your spiritual beliefs on this, and we all get messages here too, okay? This card also speaks of too that you are empowered and protected, okay? So for this particular person or people, you need to pull yourself out of the equation right now from the day-to-day and really just give this its due. Feel what you feel, ask for signs, and all of that. Because what I'm feeling is your energy. I'm not feeling the person. But my guides are on it, I assure you, or I would not feel like this, I wouldn't have gotten that message, and I sure as would not have seen that feather. So please find comfort in that, okay? Okay, on to the rest of you. All right, what we come in with here is the Six of Coins, okay? That is about, I think that we had this last week too. It's Moon in Taurus. It's about our emotions, and Taurus too has a lot of the same I think, again, please guys, don't drop anchor on these signs, okay? They're just attributes for this particular throw. Boundaries, okay? There may be a need to put some boundaries in place, because I feel also, and I think that my mixed emotions today with this, because I feel angry. Angry as in being taken advantage of, right? So I know someone is probably feeling like that too, okay? Goodness gracious. So we're feeling full effect now of the moon that just passed. It may have taken a little bit, but today it's in high gear, or it's just seems to be a whirlwind of emotions here. So just take deep breaths today, sidebar from the reading, okay? Just really take some deep breaths here, because I think some craziness is going to cross your path here that you're just really just not wanting to deal with, okay? So the fortune card, first and foremost, too, it runs in this sign, too, to just really take a step back, pay attention to your intuition, really find some quiet time today. Don't react to things, okay? But be receptive. Okay, the Six of Coins, I think what's happening here is, too, I think where this energy is coming from is that, you know, Taurus, like Pisces, okay, we have a hard time with boundaries. And it's just that we're the doers. We like to do things. And we feel better when other people feel good. So we go the distance to make sure that other people feel good in whatever form, right? And then what will happen is we'll usually just run ourselves ragged to the point of really just, you know, getting sick or something like that. Stress is being it's dis-ease as well, right? So usually by that time we've had a little bit of downtime, and now we're like, you know, son of a bitch, you know, I did it again. Why did I go the distance and I'm not, you know, receiving here? I'm giving a lot more than I'm receiving. Because this is where we've got the Queen of Cups in here, and she's crossed by the Four of Swords, okay? The Four of Swords in here is just, the Queen of Cups, she's a very giving, nurturing person, okay? She does not have a bad bone in her body. She also is very divinely connected. So, again, watch for signs, ask for guidance, be open to receiving, okay? I think what's happening here is someone is just really starting to feel just a little bit resentful or melancholy, or just something is not being reciprocated here, okay? Because where this card really feels its best is when you feel like you're the attention of someone, right? You're a giver. It's not that you do something for something in return. You don't. You have an open heart. You give consistently, right? But at certain points too, you know, it's a time to take stock on how much am I really, you know, getting back in this. Am I in a working relationship, a private relationship, any kind of relationship that's not, you know, it's not a balanced, you know, it doesn't have balanced resources in it. And resources are everything tangible, okay? They're our time, our money, our feelings, they're everything on our day-to-day, right? So the Four of Swords in here is we're not going into Picasso mode today. What we're really being asked to do is just take a step back. Pull yourself out of the equation. You need some downtime. You need to get out of whatever this is. If it's a relationship, take some time to yourself, because the outbound card here is the Knight of Wands, okay? That, I just feel, is reckless energy. If it's a person in your life, that's where this is coming from, because that is not a person who's going to drop anchor, okay? That card, I'm pretty sure, anyhow, I don't know why Aquarius is just coming into mind. That card may be, but whatever it is, it's just, it's arrogance, okay? I just keep hearing around this one too that I think my hand should be filled with gold. Exactly what that means is this person just feels that they're entitled to things that they haven't worked for. They just are I don't know either why gigolo comes to mind. I I don't know. I'm telling you, emotions are all over the board today, but I think that you may be in some kind of arena here, some dynamic where you're really just not paired with someone of your caliber. And I don't say that in an arrogant kind of way. It's just, I think that someone feels that they're entitled to maybe a status that you have, but hasn't really worked for it in whatever capacity that means. They really just think that they're entitled to things and things should just be handed to them. They don't really know the value of what something would cost to have to actually work for it. They really just feel that they're entitled. That's for a certain amount of you. I think that there's just a mixed dynamic of people that this reading is for today. If you're giving too much in any arena, take a step back is what you're being asked to do. Because the outbound card here, ladies or men, if you're in, the genders are not specific in this general read. If you're in a personal relationship with this kind of dynamic, it would behoove you to really take a step back, because I think this person may feed you the things that you need at certain times, but they're not sustainable. This is someone, too, in a relationship that you'd have to really think about. They're always on the move. They're not going to drop anchor, okay? There's someone that just has to be into a zillion different things, and it's someone that would have a large array of they just have a large array of, for lack of a better way to put it, I'm going to say friends. They don't necessarily need to be friends, but they're always in the mix with different people. They're always wanting to know something different. So this is a one-on-one relationship. You're probably not feeling very settled right now, because this is not someone who's going to devote their entire, the adequate amount of attention in that kind of dynamic to make you feel secure. It's just someone always on the move, okay? If this is in another dynamic, it's still a person who just thinks that they leap before they look in many different arenas. If this is in a business arena and you're partnered with this person trying to do something, keep in mind their integrity is not where it should be, because they jump. They jump on things that at the time they think are good, but can cost you in the long run dearly. Okay, so that could be it too. But the main takeaway from this message is something in your life is not balanced right now. And that can be on any front. Okay, you're being really asked to just take a step back here and look at this. Evaluate, what you're really wanting in here. Because again, where I started out with this is, a dynamic where someone gives, and they're not getting in return in whatever facet that may be. But it's in an arena where it's now noticeable to you, and you're just not happy about it. It's actually, chipping away at, how you feel about yourself. And I think that whenever we're in a dynamic when it's really starting to affect how we value ourselves, we really need to pull ourselves out of the equation and look at why we're doing that, okay? The Four of Swords, too, is really just calling a ceasefire. If you're in any kind of engagement right now, even on any front, people are starting to take on just very negative, emotions coming at you. If there's just an exchange here that's not very pleasant right now, pull yourself out of this, even if you've got to take a day off from work, because there's something here that you're being protected, for one, okay? And when that comes up, it leads me to believe, too, again, the feather, too, doesn't just mean that it's going to be a death or a loss situation. It's just something that you're up against right now, that in the end, just take a breath, because it will be okay in the end. And, to really do you right now, and that you're protected, pay attention to your intuition, because it's at an all-time high, which means that you've been getting messages, but you've not been listening. So when I get this much of a whirlwind, it means that they're not playing around right now. It's time where you're really supposed to, because whatever this is that's going on in your sphere right now is taking you away from the main goal that you're supposed to be focusing on. And that's where they're trying to redirect you, to get you back to that. okay, is where they're going here. This Knight of Wands on the outbound, I'm telling you, it's energy of someone who doesn't have a lot of life experience under them. It doesn't mean that they're young in age. They may just not have done much in their life, right? They may be complacent. If this is someone who really just thinks that the world should be handed to them on a golden plate, which I really feel is the attitude here, you're never going to align with that, because they're the ones that's ass has not hit the pavement yet enough to have some sustainability that, wow, maybe I better, maybe there's a little bit more to life than just, being fanned with a grape leaf and doing nothing and just having things come to me. At some point, that dynamic comes to light, but that's, I think, on the other person. I think what you're meant to learn here is that to just be open to receiving, be the loving, caring, compassionate, nurturing person that you are, but know when enough is enough. And I think that was one of yesterday's messages too, to just really know when enough is enough. It was the Nine of Wands was in yesterday's reading, and that's also, knowing when to walk away, knowing when you've given something your all. There's a difference between quitting and knowing when something is done. So if you're saying to yourself, or you're having guilt now, or something is setting in like that, I think your balance is off too, as in your emotions, where your emotions are. Your life is about you. If you're not getting what you want in any kind of arena, you need to look at that, because that's telling you something. And if that's what the intuition has been screaming at you and you're not listening, it's normally when things like this get kicked up. But we don't have the Tower in here. So all of these cards, we have no fixed cards, okay? All of these energies in here right now, after, we do tarot to get ahead of things, right? To see what's up ahead. Is the bridge washed out? Am I going to go off the road? What's the deal here? I'm telling you that something is off. Now you have that knowledge, so you can rework how you're doing things. Your advice in this reading is to just let you know you're protected. Take some time for yourself right now, really. And just know that you've got to get back on the path where you're supposed to be going, and pull yourself out of whatever it is, in whatever arena is distracting you right now, okay? Because all of these cards are lower arcana, which means that right now, as I'm telling you this, you can end this video and change this all around. There's energy can be changed in the second that you do something different. It shakes up this whole reading. Okay, if we were to throw this again in 10 minutes after you did something, the entire reading would be different. Okay, so knowledge is power. Take this and use it to your advantage, because there's a lot of emotions high today. Again, eclipses eclipse things out, eclipse new things in. We've got the new moon, new things are coming in. This applies on all fronts, okay? And if someone did just have someone pass away, or something is kicking up in that regard, you're also being asked to really just spend some time with your feelings, give them their due, and that things will be okay in the end, okay? So there you have it. I hope that helped in some way. I'm going to be, over the next day, getting out the March monthly, so hopefully that helps, and there's a little bit more in depth, and I'll throw some clarifiers and stuff like this. But this was pretty straightforward, that you're just being asked to really put some healthy boundaries in place, because you're kind of being taken for a ride here and distracted from where your main focus is supposed to be going, okay? So there you have it. I hope that this helped in some way. If you need further clarification or a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do that, okay? Thank you so much.